welcome back. This is episode 148 of Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow. I am your host, the self-knighted Sir Cussalott Travis Pointer, aka the Dragon King, aka Big T, aka T Money, aka Sweet T, aka Black Merlin, aka the HNIC. And I'm joined as always by my co-host Mara the Shark Watkins.
Hello.
How's it going tonight, Mara?
It's all right. A little tired, but surviving.
Yeah, you'll be all right. Sleep is for the weak.
It's hot as balls here. That's the problem.
I live in Texas. I don't know what to tell you.
You're right. It's two different kinds of heat.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like, because we were
Cause
talking about it, me and my friends, we were talking about it yesterday. It's like Texas gets hot, and I know like you guys can get like a wet hot too.
South Texas is humid as fuck. Like
Yeah,
humidity is like
it's just,
ridiculous here. It's different than the rest of Texas. Like it's crazy how much more humid it is. And it's comparable to Florida humid. Like not even bullshit. But anyway,
the thing is with New York humidity is because it's so damn gross. And
yeah,
everyone else is gross.
your air is also gross. So yeah, it makes sense
And
that's
it's just
more of a
kind of
problem.
like it gets humid and then all of a sudden it smells like corn chips and wet dog everywhere. You know who you
Ugh.
are. Or maybe you don't.
That's the thing. I
You
don't
know
know
who
if they
you
do
are.
know, because if they knew, I think they would do something about it.
You'd be surprised. Apparently a bunch of white people are finding out that you need to clean your entire body. Entire body.
What do you mean finding out?
Yo, I gotta send you some TikToks.
Oh, there's multiple. I mean, I saw one, but I didn't know there were
There was this
multiples.
one video of this girl talking about she showers like every 5 days.
Yeah, the
She
one that says she
gets,
only washes and shampoos her hair and then just lets it
yeah,
drip. Yeah, I saw
and
that
then gets
shit.
out. There was another one where a girl was talking about, okay, so I didn't realize I was supposed to do more than just like my head and my face. And I was just like,
Dirty bastards.
what? Yeah. So again, you know who you are. But we're not here to talk about people's hygiene. We're here to talk about the DC universe on CW.
Yeah, the Arrowverse is, Supergirl, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow, Black Lightning, Batwoman, Stargirl, Superman and Lois. Was that all of them?
I think so.
You were counting that time, so I thought you were keeping track.
I was trying to, but I realized I lagged at one of them and then I lost count from that point.
Damn.
Yeah.
What do we do now? We just assume we set them all. That's what we'll do.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about these shows. So where do you want to start?
Let's start with the Black Lightning finale because it's the series finale. So this actually will be the last time we ever talk about Black Lightning.
Yeah, yeah. A little bit more Black Lightning news before we get into the actual episode. We did find out that CW is not picking up the Painkiller series, so we will not have that.
They just don't want to have an all black show again.
Probably. Even though, pretty much every other character on that show isn't black. So, because you look at the backdoor pilot they did, him,
Touche.
the villain is black, but like everybody else was like Asian and white and shit. So,
Touche. They don't want a main character who's black. They were like, we already got Batwoman.
yeah, we gave y'all Batwoman. That's all you get. But yeah. So this episode was called what?
The Book of Resurrection, Chapter 2, Closure.
So this episode kicks off. Jeff is dead, or at least we believe he's dead. Like, all signs point to him being dead unless you saw the preview for next week's episode where you saw him coming up out the grave and shit. They literally told you after last week's episode was over when they said Jefferson Pierce is dead. They showed the preview for the next week and showed you like, no, he's not dead.
Right.
So
They're like, we got you. No, you didn't.
no, no, you didn't. There was no cliffhanger there whatsoever. You told us you told us you were lying, basically.
Also, there was no way we were going to believe that he was going to be dead in the penultimate episode of the series.
Yeah, yeah. How was it? there's no way he's not going to be present for the series finale of his show. Like,
Shit. Jen came back. Like,
yeah, yeah. And that was just the weirdest thing too. It was just like, did we need that? Like, it was good for her to be there. Don't get me wrong, but it was just like that story that happened though. With that was just like,
it was like, okay, so what was the point of you leaving, China?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's what I was saying. Like, it was so weird that it was just like, we just have to accept that Jen just looks different from now on.
The
Like, she's
last
not even
few
gonna come back.
episodes.
Right. She's not even gonna come back for the finale. Nah, she done.
Yeah, yeah, she comes back. Like, you could have done them episodes. Like, it's just like, the show was ended anyway, so it's just, fucking Gen Z. I hate them all. Um,
Is China in Gen Z?
yeah, she's like 12. Um,
Okay.
I don't know how old she is for. I really do think she's like 20 or something like that.
Uh, I don't know how old, well, I don't know how young the youngest millennials are.
Mm. But anyway, basically the crew is not okay right now, but they're like, yo, we gotta get, we gotta formulate a plan. We gotta get you know, gotta shut down that emitter. We gotta get the fucking Tobias. We gotta stop Tobias. That couldn't remember his name for a second. Um,
Boys.
Tobias, yeah, Tobias.
Oh man, it's gonna suck not hearing you
I
say his
hear
name like that anymore.
hear me say his name like that. Chris Williams says his name like that.
Yeah,
Tobias.
but the way you imitate it.
Oh man. We get a speech from Tobias when he goes Trump on him. He's like, let's make Freeland great again. And he's like, oh really, really, really.
Yeah.
Then we got Shakur, slips into the chief's office and realizes she took the meta boosters. Like, oh fuck. So she got energy absorbing powers now. So she gonna be.
So are they all the same power or was it labeled?
I think it was labeled.
Okay, because I was just like, yo, he quickly like diagnosed what power she had, and I was like, do they all get the same power?
Yeah, I think they may have been labeled because he was supposed to distribute them, and I don't think he would be distributing them and not knowing what they were. So either they're all the same power or they're labeled, but I want to say they're labeled because I don't think they'd give everybody the same thing because you want a variety when you're going into battle.
True that.
So it's just like it might be, Chief might be an asshole, but she's still not stupid. She's tactical. So
She's not stupid. She's crazy.
exactly. So then we got Jeff. He wakes up in a pine box. He's all swole up and everything.
I would be sick as fuck.
I mean, he wasn't okay. So,
If I like the way he was yelling inside, and I was like, no, 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 preserve your oxygen, please.
yeah, he wasn't thinking about all that, and I can't say that I would think of that at the time either. If I just wake up in that shit, my thing is I need to get the fuck out of here. Um, let's see. So yeah,
God, getting
they,
nauseous just thinking about being buried alive. That shit really freaks me the fuck out.
so yeah, they doing some more, hunting and finding. They figure out where the emitter is. JJ goes up into the ionosphere again. They're like, "Yo, what the fuck you doing?" The weird energy stuff surrounds her. We're like, "Yo, what the fuck
And
is
then
this?"
pixelates her.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But then she comes right back though. So it's just like, what the hell happened there?
And I thought they weren't going to explain it. And then I was like, thank God.
Yeah.
Because even like the
But I
end of
saw the
last,
face in there though, so it was just like, why is
yeah.
there a face in the little particles now?
Well, there was a face, there was like eyes and a face last time.
Right.
So it was like, even like the end of last episode when they started showing the ionosphere, twinkling around again, it was just like, the finale is next week. Are you guys going to wrap that up
They're gonna
or?
wrap it up really fast, like they did everything else, because they didn't know this was gonna be their last season until after they started filming. So Yeah. Let's see. So yeah, JJ comes back, but she's getting all lightheaded and shit. Um, talked about the face and the weird energy shit.
And then it bursts into Gen 1.0.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, oh, Jen's back. Okay, so that's weird. But anyway, we get a flashback to 30 years ago. Apparently, Jeff killed somebody. And he,
Someone from the 100.
yeah, yeah. Self defense though, but he used it was his powers, and he, yeah, fucked somebody up.
Hey,
And this is when we find out afterwards, like you said, Jennifer's back. We find out JJ isn't Jennifer. Because at the time, I'm like, oh, is there two Jennifers? But no, no, no. JJ isn't Jennifer. Apparently, she stole her DNA
to
and,
get kind of a body, but
but
she's still not a person.
yeah, she's some kind of being that lives in the ionosphere. That's like,
Also known as the glaze.
yeah, it's just like pure energy, I guess, until she, took a form by taking Jen's DNA because she wanted to. I don't know. Like, I really don't understand why she had to like take over Jen's life when she went down. She like could have just taken a body and gone down there and just without taking over somebody else's life. It just doesn't seem necessary. It all seems really weird.
It was a weird way of explaining it.
Yeah,
It was just kind of like, um, it's like Greg went like on an ayahuasca trip and was like, "Yeah, this is the plot. This is the story right here."
this is what we're going with.
Just doing shrooms and shit. Just like this is the story. This is what we're gonna do.
It's gonna be some good shit, but it wasn't. It wasn't Greg. It was not good shit.
It wasn't it.
But so we got Gamby doing his sneak thing around where they're trying to get to the emitter. He set a dude on fire because you know
Yeah, cause why not?
sometimes you just gotta set a motherfucker on fire. I don't know what the point of that was. He could have just tranquilized him and knocked him out. Like he didn't have to set him on fire. That wasn't necessary.
Molotov cocktails are the way to go.
Like is it though? Is it like
Seemed like it.
anyway? They do their thing in there. They find the emitter. Gamby blows it up.
Why does Wild insist on doing shit with her face uncovered?
I don't know, but then later on she covers it up. So it was just
And
like
I was kind of just like, so does she need her powers to put the to cover her face?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't
Because it
understand
seemed
it
like
either.
the entire time with the emitter going, they haven't covered her face, but the second she gets her powers back,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
okay.
Um, so yeah, we get the Jen versus JJ fight. That's when we see that she's made of pure energy. Uh, Jeff is about to die. He's suffocating. Like yeah, but we know he ain't gonna die.
He's
So
praying.
yeah. Um, uh,
Anissa gets hit with a DEG,
yeah, they just unload on her. She like shields Grace and Gambit. They just unload on her, but
but
she's
she
all
still
right.
gets to take them out. Like,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. Um, let's see. Then we got Chief at like she had what is it like a power plant or whatever.
Yeah, she just doing weird
Yeah,
shit.
just out there just absorbing energy at the power plant because she wants to kill lightning. Like it's just like why are you
Crazy
so
as hell.
obsessed with killing lightning?
Crazy.
It's so weird. Such a weird obsession.
Because she's
Like
so determined to keep her job and prove herself. But I'm just like, sis, this ain't the way to do it.
but like even before she was just always so fixated on lightning. Like I know she like had issues with metahumans period, but she seemed like extra fixated on lightning for some reason, and it was so
I think
weird.
Lightning having a social media account and being interactive and like the reputation that the police have. I feel like she's just like, but she's a vigilante. And ever since like they thought Lightning was the one who killed that kid, she's just been like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you."
But she
And
was
it's
like
just
that before
like,
they thought she killed the kid though. Like she
was
was
it?
like Yeah, she was on Lightning like when they first kicked the shit off, like at the beginning of the season. So it was just, I don't know. It just
Gotcha.
it just seemed it was just a really weird obsession to me, and I never understood it. Um, but anyway, Jeff gets energy from the Prometheum, and he gets his powers back because they shut off the emitter so he can use his powers. But he's like, I don't have an energy source. But the Prometheum is running all through the through the city underground in the rock and shit. So he's like, oh, I can absorb energy from there and
Yeah.
zap my way out.
Because you began to wonder, like, what was that plot point about the Prometheum being there going to do for the story?
Yeah, I
That is
mean,
it.
it was they were using it to power the emitter anyway, so it was just
No, I know. But I remember them pointing out that there was like an untapped line of it. And it was kind
mhm,
of just like, why point that out if it's not going to become like
yeah.
a plot device later?
Mhm. So they bring Anissa
Yes.
back to the sanctum after she's been shot up, and Jeff lets them know he's alive. And they were like, "What will we do now?" They're like, "Y'all chill, cause I'm going after Tobias."
I'm going for Tobias.
Yeah, yeah. And so yeah, we talked about Chief as how she just lost her damn mind. Jen, like she like does this weird power up thing and blasts herself into JJ, and it's like, did you absorb JJ? Like, what
I
happened? Like,
that's what I figured. It was like she absorbed her. And then I was like, how the fuck do you explain this
yeah, like,
to
so
anyone?
does JJ like exist within her now, or is just her energy exist in her, or is JJ just
I
gone,
think
or
it's the energy. I don't think the personality of JJ is still there.
hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like
So is JJ
the
dead?
so the way I understood the way they were explaining it was that JJ was literally just, part of it was like particles in the ionosphere of energy, and she got closer as she drew herself to Jen. So I don't believe that, even though like JJ was talking about, her feelings and what she wanted, I don't feel like the particles of energy themselves have like a personality. So it's not like how it is with Khalil and Painkiller in his head. I feel like she just has that raw absorption of the energy. That's just my take on it. It's
Sounds
like I
like you're
don't think we're
finding a
gonna
fancy way to say they killed JJ. Um,
yeah, like I don't see like it being like one day Jen wakes up and JJ is controlling her body. No. Like I just think Jen is just powerful again.
okay. Um, so then we get after that she goes after the chief, and we get a Lightning versus Chief fight. Doesn't last very
She
long.
shuts her up real quick.
Yeah, Lightning just takes her out real quick. It wasn't even a contest. It was a waste of time to do this actually, because I don't know, there's just certain things that you just didn't need in this episode, and that battle thing that they did there was one of them because it was not well done. Like the whole like the acting in that scene when she was talking to the other cops and all that kind of stuff, and it just like
She's like, "Did you just roll up on me with my own task force?"
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. We did
Because
because
you're being an unruly meta.
yeah, and
Yes.
that's what this task force is for. So yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly what we're doing.
We're doing our jobs.
Yeah. So then, like, another
Jeff
confusing
gets
thing
to
happens here.
oh,
Oh no, it's what you're talking about because is Tobias just no longer lightning proof anymore? Like, what's happening here? Like, because that was the whole thing that he just couldn't zap him because he just like, yeah, it doesn't work on me anymore. Does it work on him now? Like, when did that happen?
I guess. I mean, he started zapping him at first and he kind of like ate it. He was like, "Yeah, okay, nigga." And then all of a sudden, when punches started getting thrown, now all of a sudden he's sensitive.
Hmm, I
I
guess
don't know.
because it does seem like he was like, just eating that shit all season, but now all of a sudden it's just like, oh, it hurts me now.
To finish the story, he must become vulnerable.
Yeah, but they didn't explain how. It was just punch harder. Like that's literally what it was. It was one of those, and I hate when that happens in like anything. when the solution to, defeating this being that's just so much more powerful than you is just, you punch harder, because that's all he did. Anyway,
It's a very unenthusiastic fight. In fact, Tobias loses by like an accidental technicality.
yeah, he falls out and just impales himself on just something that was happened to be outside his penthouse.
The, the death whack. The acting during the death whacker.
What did he?
He was like, "Oh, you dusty ass Negro,"
Yeah, but
and goes for guns.
he called him. But what he called him when he first showed up,
Something like a cotton-headed ninny muggin or some
I
shit like
forgot
that.
what he called him. But when he first showed up, whatever he called him made me chuckle. It was just like, normally Tobias's insults aren't that funny to me, but this one was actually funny. I
Like
forgot what it was.
he said something like it was something crude,
Yeah, yeah.
but it was just like
It was
jive
nappy.
turkey
It
ass.
was always, it was started off with nappy headed something, but I don't remember what the rest of it was. It was nappy headed something Negro.
Yeah, he just started going off. Like he
Yeah,
just started making descriptions.
yeah, yeah. I don't remember what it was though, but whatever it was, like, it made me chuckle. So
But he's just like, fuck you, Black Lightning. And he's like, please don't. And he's just like, I'm gonna shoot you anyway. And Jeff was like, all right, zap.
yeah, yeah. But I don't know.
He's
He's
gonna
supposed to be
have,
lightning proof, so I don't know what that was. Anyway,
he's dead.
yeah, he's dead. He like aged after all that happened. His face all wrinkled up like it's supposed to be for his age and everything. So yeah,
He
he
caught
dead.
up to his time.
Yeah, yeah. So then we get TC. He does his thing and he starts communing with Khalil and Painkiller. Like, yo, I can delete the kill order. Problem is, you do that, you're gonna basically just forget the Pierce family exists. Period. So it's the way it works. Um, so he does it.
Not everyone can have a happy ending.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the end of that. Then we, flash forward a little bit to they're having an actual family get together. So they're doing an actual wedding for Anissa and Grace.
Yes.
Um, then we get this moment with TC's talking to Jen, and she was just like, "What the fuck is it? Like something's up." And you could tell like
Don't
he's,
tell me news. Don't tell me now.
yeah, he was actually it seemed like he was about to tell her about Khalil, but
Yeah, that's what I was assuming she was going to do.
yeah, yeah, but he was just like, she was like, "No, not right now." So he doesn't
She
tell
felt
her.
the type of way that no one but Jeff had peeped that something was off about JJ.
I mean, they had her DNA, so it was just like I can understand why they thought it
Yeah.
was her. Like, you see,
We're people of
Gamby actually,
science, Jen.
yeah, and like they talk about Gamby even talked about how he like double and triple checked it all anyway, and it just I'm like, yo, this is Jennifer. So it wasn't
Like
like
all the
the
scientific explanations made sense.
yeah, yeah. So, but that's just Jen. She's just whatever. She's like, yo, just got to process it for a while, and I'll be all right. Then we got the announcement that Jeff and Lynn are finally getting remarried. Um, he also announces that he's retiring from being Black Lightning. He's gonna leave it to the
For
next
good.
generation. Yeah, until he shows up on the Flash next season because we got that news also. Um,
Say that one more time.
I said until he shows up for a little crossover action on the Flash next season in the fall. They talked about that like in another thing. Um,
Um,
there was a article that just came out there saying the first 5 episodes of next season of the
or
Flash is
like a
gonna,
5-part thing,
yeah.
right?
And then there was another one before where Cress Williams was like he's been approached by the Flash showrunners about appearing on the Flash in the fall. So 2 plus 2 equals Jefferson Pierce on the Flash. Um, let's see. Then TC is also taking Gamby's place, running opposite. Like, I'll still help out every now and then, throw you a gadget and all that because that's what I do. Um, but then the most odd thing about this whole episode happens. Um, Lala wakes up because they knocked over the little slab of cement that he was in, and they decide for the very last shot of Black Lightning, of the series finale of Black Lightning. They're gonna have the last shot to be of Lala looking over the city.
Chuckling
Who?
about Tobias. He was like, someone finally stuck your ass.
Yeah, and that's how they ended it. That's the last shot that they chose. I don't understand.
Is there like a special next week?
I don't
You
think
know,
so. It's just I think this is it.
we don't get no kind of wrap up. Like, this is how it was when we were filming. This is what the show meant to us. This is what we were thinking. Nothing.
I don't know.
Mm.
Yeah, the very last shot of the series was Lala.
It felt more like a season finale than it did a series finale.
Yeah, yeah. Felt like the kind of thing where like we were gonna, get started next season with Lala as the big bad again. Taking over where Tobias left off because he's got Tobias's penthouse now, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it felt like we'd be getting another season, but nah. But yeah, that's it for Black Lightning forever. No more Black Lightning.
Well, Slim lasted. That's
Yeah,
the first show that we've had that started while this show has been on and has now ended while we were still on.
yeah, yeah. That's the first one beginning and ended while we were podcasting. Yeah, Batwoman will
I
be
think the only,
next.
huh?
Batwoman will be next
Yeah,
because they were like next season's the last one. So
because I think the only shows that were on before was Supergirl, Flash, and Arrow.
and Legends.
Did Legends already have a season in?
Yeah,
Oh,
Legends was before Supergirl.
oh shit.
That's where we got the name of the show.
True.
Yeah. Where you want to go next?
Let's go with Legends. Speaking of,
Okay. This episode was called What?
Bay of Squids.
Interesting. So we kick it off in the Sierra Maestro Mountains, Cuba, basically.
Yeah, we're in
Cuban
Cuba.
jungles, October 16th, 1962. And I was just like, oh, Cuban Missile Crisis. Okay, here we go.
Cool. Yeah. World War III potential.
Yeah, yeah. So something crashes. Clearly, it's an alien pod. Soldiers find it. We see the little tentacles there. Dun dun dun. And then we cut to the Wave Rider. An alarm is going off. Apparently, Mick triggered the alarm. Nate's coming in like, oh, what's going on? He sees Zari in her nighttime makeup. I don't know what that means, but I guess that's what she looks like. That's the makeup she wears when she wants it to look like she's not wearing makeup. Because
Okay.
she tried to correct herself and said no makeup. I'm like, oh, okay. So you have another set of makeup that you wear when you want people to think you're not wearing makeup. Okay.
You said makeup a lot in one sentence.
Fucking weird. Then she calls out Nate for having an erection, which, I'm just like, how do you not know your dick is hard? Like,
Right. You don't feel that?
yeah, yeah. He's like, what do you mean? Like, oh, like, how did you not know your dick was hard? Every time my dick's been hard, I've known unless I was asleep. But he was awake. They were having a conversation.
Who's they?
Um, hmm?
They?
Him and Zari?
Oh, gotcha.
Yes, the person with the penis and the one who called out the penis.
Yeah, yeah. Never mind. Keep going.
Okay. Spooner's working out. Bearrod has his special gummies that help him sleep.
That Gideon makes. I would love to be on a ship that could make me an edible.
Whole packs of them.
Right? Because I'm a Rice Krispie. I'm a cereal treat person. So I'm just like, yo, just make me a whole pan of those, Gideon.
I keep meaning to like one day make like Rice Krispie treats, but not with Rice Krispies, with cinnamon toast crunch.
Huh.
And I'm like, yo, that would probably be fucking delicious.
Probably would slap. Especially, I made a cinnamon roll casserole for dessert tonight.
That
Tastes
sounds
really
great.
good. Oh my god, I can't wait to put it in my mouth.
That's what she said. Um, so then let's see. Like, all right, so we got to go to Cuba. Mick is taking the lead. He knows where the alien is that took Sarah, which is there in Cuba. Um, then we got, like we got to go now. We don't have time. We got, they just showed up right at the time, and Spooner's like, "Yo, why are we rushing like this? Why didn't you just go to like an hour before so you have time to change?"
Those are the travel questions that we don't ask. And I
Yeah,
was just
yeah,
like,
the
at
kind of
least someone
questions.
said it.
Yeah, they're the ones that we've been asking this whole time. We're just like, why is this such a big deal that you get there on time? Like you're literally in a time that you can get there at any time you want. But
I
anyway,
feel like that's something you've been saying for seasons.
I have, and nobody is giving me a real answer.
No one will.
Yeah. So they end up getting into a gunfight in the jungle with the Cuban army because Mick. Um, they take what they think is the alien pod. Turns out it's a fucking nuke because Cuban Missile Crisis. Um, U.S. intelligence has seen the wave rider, so they think Cuba has got this, new kind of flight ship, something. I don't know. Um, so
They were just like, ugh. There were so many things It was like every time you turned around, there was a new revelation. It was like, stop, everyone, stop. Is this really what the missile crisis was like?
probably. Let's see. So Mick and Spooner they got the nuke. Um, Behrad and Ava are going after the alien. Nate and Zari go to the White House. Nate's geeking out. Um, he gets to go into this classified meeting while Zari has to pretend to be his secretary because, the 60s. Um, Ava and Mick, they're going to be, like, dissecting the alien, I guess.
Yeah, they said some weird term, and we were all just like, what?
Ava and Behrad, not Mick. But yeah. And then Behrad gets mistaken for Che Guevara. Um,
Guevara.
yeah, that dude.
Che Guevara.
Yeah, and they
Oh, God. I'm okay.
okay.
I was leaning extra hard on my arm, so when I got off of it, it was like, no!
Oh, okay. So so he was like, "No, I'm not Che. I'm Che's cousin Jay." He gets
Stupid.
taken to Fidel Castro because like, "Hey, look at your friend here." Yeah. Um, let's see. So yeah, the people at the White House have photos of Nate when he's all steeled up in the jungle doing the fighting and shit. The Russians think the U.S. sent him. Then we got, Berrod. He's just hanging out with Fidel Castro, just chilling. He gives him some gummies. He takes three of them. And he's like, "Oh, sir.
You about to, you
Oh,
about to
sir."
feel it.
Yeah. Let's see. Then we got Ava trying to sneak away with the alien. It's Kayla, right? It's the
Yes,
yeah,
Kayla.
yeah. Um, let's see. Then Spooner's getting closer with Mick, and she can sense the alien. She's like, "Oh, the alien's waking up," and she's pissed. Um, she's about to like fuck up Ava, but Mick's there. He fire blasts her first. Um, then we got Castro. He's high as fuck. Barrett like, "I'm gonna play you a song on the guitar."
A really good song at that.
Yeah, and then after that song, Castro like, "You're right. We need to have peace." And he's going, go ahead and let JFK know, like, you know what, we chilling. But then all of a sudden, He opens the door, and here comes that fucking alien and just ruins everything.
He was like, I told you.
Yeah, yeah. The White House is also just not handling things well. Like we
The
got
whole
us,
team was just fucking up this entire time.
yeah. But then Zari ends up stepping in to intercept a message that the president is sending, and she's like, "I can type faster than all of you," and she types on the fucking keyboard with her thumbs,
Yeah,
and it
or
was.
like her knuckles or some shit.
No, it was
It's
with her
like,
thumbs, like she was typing on her phone. She did it with her thumbs instead of like typing normally, because that's how people type in her time, because there are no keyboards anymore, I guess.
like
Um,
it's like how kids hold. It's like when you ask small kids now to pretend that they're on the phone. The next time you are around a small child, ask them to pretend that they're on the phone.
I
Most
don't know.
kids will do this instead of this.
Oh, okay, okay. I don't know when the next time I'll be around a small child is, but when it is, you know.
The next time you're on FaceTime with Luna, I'm gonna see. I don't know. I'm gonna ask her to do it. See what she does.
Okay. Yeah, I guess yeah, because it's none of their phones look like this. You're right.
Yeah, because my friend, he made a TikTok asking his son to do it, and his son swiftly went, and
Yeah,
he was just like, "What the fuck is that?"
yeah, yeah. Huh. You're right. So let's see.
Oh, that was big gulp.
Talked about Zari typing with her thumbs. Then we get this one moment Ava hurts mixed feelings because you need to just go back to doing what you were doing before. No more thinking. Um, Apparently the alien what they're doing is she's looking for a way off the planet. So
Right? She's like, "I don't want to be here."
yeah, yeah. So Mick convinces her to come with him on the Wave Rider. Castro shoots off the missile. Like, yeah, we gotta go ahead and just blast these motherfuckers. White House is not going well. And in order to stop it, they play literal football with the football in the office
Look,
Legends of Tomorrow.
look. I was watching, and then they kept calling it a nuclear football, and I
The
feel like
football.
I've heard that term before,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like watching one group of privileged white guys stand across the room from another group of privileged white guys battling royaling it out like it's a football game and not the beginning of World War III.
Yep. Yep.
And it was like, I was captivated by the stupidity going on
Mm-hmm.
because it was just like, yo, they are they're constantly on the brink of war. And then they do the football shit, and I was quickly reminded we're watching Legends.
Mm-hmm. So Kennedy and Nate and all the Harvard people, they get their hands on it. They stop him from blasting back. Cuba's missile, it impacts, but it doesn't explode because all the plutonium has been removed by the alien. Um, Mick and the alien are gonna, go after Sarah, while the rest of the crew is gonna, protect history. I don't know how they're gonna protect history without the Wave Rider, but they're gonna protect history. Um, they're all gonna just stay at Constantine's house because why not?
Yeah, like I was like, this plot's not making sense. What do you mean Mick just left you guys in the 60s?
Yeah, yeah. I don't think was Constantine wasn't around in the '60s, was he? When did he come around? Either way, it wouldn't be the same Constantine. So
But wouldn't be Constantine from their time period.
right.
But then, um, does his house have?
Oh, I think they may have said his house exists outside of space and time or something
Yeah,
like
like I
that.
feel like they
Yeah,
said like no matter what, even if they were to find the house, like if they can find or summon the house, it's like in their current
yeah, yeah. You're right.
state.
You're right.
I don't get it.
I do remember that now though. So
doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but
No, it
I'm
makes
also
none.
not a yeah, I'm not a
Yeah,
scientist about time and space continuum, so
yeah, yeah.
who am I?
So then we get Mick and the alien. They having some banter going on, him and Kayla, and then she puts a ring on and turns herself into a human woman, and Mick is enthralled.
She looks like she's gonna give him a run for his money.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, that was Legends.
Yeah, when it comes back, we're gonna see uh Astra trying to, I guess, live normal.
Hmm. Yeah, good luck with that. Um, where you want to go
Why
next?
isn't Constantine listed as a main cast member on this site? That's so weird. Anywho, let's go to. There was no Batwoman this week,
Correct.
so let's go to. Let's just go to Flash because I want it to be done.
Okay, what's this episode called?
Family Matters Part Two.
It's a rare condition. Okay.
Do,
Um,
do. Oh,
yeah, I'm not gonna sing the whole thing. I'm not drunk enough for that. Because I
I don't think either
definitely
of us are.
did. I think it was on an episode of Smacking and Raw where I did the entire Full House theme song. No, it wasn't Full House. It was the Gargoyles theme song.
I haven't heard that in a very, very, very long
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. Definitely went in. I don't even remember why, but I was just I recited the whole thing.
Speaking of wrestling, I watched that movie Army of. Well, it's not really about wrestling. Army of the Dead, but I only relate it to wrestling because I
Batista.
remember the. Yeah, because Dave Bautista, and I know the pay per view was heavily advertising that fucking movie.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, WWE like, yo, give me that Netflix money. But anybody, anyway, everybody's alive. They're okay. From last week we thought,
It's
Speed Force
actually
like blasted all the fuck, out of
yes,
Iris and Psych and
Alexa.
Alexa. Yeah.
But
So yeah,
turns out Bashir can control his powers to just make an illusion, not just fears.
yeah, make you think that something's happening that's not really happening, not just scaring the fuck out of you. Um, they don't know where Speed Force went. Um, they're either gonna hide Alexa and Bashir in like the period of time where the Speed Force didn't exist, and but in the Speed Force, even though the Speed Force doesn't exist at that time, but it's yeah, okay. Um,
Space time continuum stuff I don't understand.
yeah, yeah. I don't think they really understand either. They just throw out a bunch of science words until we're confused
I
enough
be
to where we
wonder
don't try.
right.
Techno
I be
babble is just
wondering.
that. It's babble. It's not real.
I be wondering because like Cisco and all of them, they're around our ages, but it's like the way they be talking about science stuff. You think they have like doctorates
Well, Cisco
and
does.
such. Does he?
Hmm.
But Cisco's around. I was just saying, like, how young did he go to
Yeah, he's a
college?
fucking genius. He was like way ahead and shit. Yeah, he has a doctorate.
Okay, so I was just like, y'all be talking about space. The way y'all be fucking with the space time continuum. I'm gonna
Hmm.
need someone to have some kind of degree paperwork.
Yeah, yeah. Cisco, and Caitlin.
Caitlin, I know. Caitlin,
Chester,
I know
no.
was a whole. Yeah, Caitlin, I know was a whole ass doctor.
Hmm. Let's see.
This
They,
episode was weird, so buckle in.
yeah. So Joe and Cecile, they're sitting there talking. Something comes through the window and just blasts Cecile because I don't know why they had to do this either. It's just, speaking of things in the episode that just don't need to be there, just like on that episode of Black Lightning. Like, why did you even have this happen?
Like this scene was so unnecessary.
Like, you can have that whole thing with Joe, like, giving them their speech and all that kind of shit without this happening to Cecile. Like, it's just not necessary.
Also, who is the Sage Force? Or do we not know that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, because they kept talking about the Sage Force, and I felt like that was something I had never heard before, and I was just like,
It seemed like it was familiar, but I couldn't put my finger on it. But like, I didn't care enough to figure it out because this whole episode was just like, what the fuck. So, like you said, I just wanted it to be over. So, you know, they started with something that I thought was going to be cool. I was interested. You know, the Speed Force was the villain, but it's not
oh,
interesting
it's
now.
Bashir. Sage is Bashir.
Oh, it's not the Psych Force. Well, they just called him Psych. Okay, got it, got
Yeah,
it.
they call him Psych, but like this, because I was gonna say like they've never called it by its force before. That's why I was so confused. I was like, who is the Sage Force?
Okay, got it.
I started thinking there was a different force out there that we hadn't seen yet.
Yeah, yeah. But like I said, I kind of remembered hearing Sage Force before, but I couldn't put my finger on what it was, and I didn't care enough to figure it out. So apparently, well, what we think that the Speed Force was doing some crazy weather shit. Turns out it wasn't her; it was all the other forces. But it's like, yo, you're one of them too, so you're part of it. You're doing it too.
Right, like your siblings' issues are also your issues.
Yeah, yeah. All of them together is what was causing it. So, but she like tells Barry like, yo, you bring me the mother three, or I'm gonna just fuck up the city.
Right, I'm gonna destroy this bitch. I'm gonna destroy this whole world.
Well, and then I'll go back though. I think about it though. I don't think she explicitly said that. She said, "Or your world will be destroyed." So it was play on words because she wasn't the one fucking everything up. Is in her head.
But I'm so confused. I was confused come the end of the episode, but we'll get there.
Okay. Um. So apparently, Chester rebuilt the isotope sensor so Barry can find the forces. Um. Frost and bartender dude have some thing going on now. Like,
His name is Mark. Okay, that's who that is. I totally was trying to figure out where I knew him from.
oh yeah, he was that bartender with the
Yeah,
under ice
and I
powers
was
that
because like
framed
they
her.
kept talking about she liked him, and I was just like, who the fuck are you? Why do you care so much?
Yeah, yeah.
Because they were just fighting unnecessarily long for a very long time.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, Joe brings Cecile to the lab. He's like, "Yo, what the fuck is happening here?" Barry finds Dion in the stadium because Dion's out there feeling sorry for herself. They have a disagreement.
Because
Now
he's
he's
like,
gone.
this bitch is crazy. We need to just take her out.
Yeah, yeah,
And Bear's like,
um,
no, I can't take out my children.
yeah. So also, Joe is just not okay. Alexa tries to pep him up. It don't work. Um, Alexa and Bashir do some dumb shit and take the little device thing so they can leave the Speed Force, and I guess that like knocks Iris out of the Speed Force place as well. I don't know. Um,
Yeah, she like just came out of the Speed Force, and it was like,
she was just there. She was just there.
okay. I didn't realize you could do that, Iris. I didn't realize you could just leave the Speed Force.
Yeah, yeah. I'm guessing like them using the device to get themselves out also took her out of it too.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm going with because that's the only thing that makes sense. If it makes sense. Um,
Barely.
let's see. Yeah, so we talked about this how all the forces are the ones that's causing this storm, not Speed Force, not
The
just Speed
team,
Force. It's all
the,
of them. Because she tries to say it's them, but no, it's all of you. It's because it doesn't make sense. Because your red lightning is in there too. Like it's all of
right.
y'all.
And like the whole and the flat Team Flash is just like, look, there, we got nothing. You
Mhm.
might just have to kill her.
Yeah. Okay, so they're not doing it on purpose though. It's just their existence. Um, we got more. We talked about the Frost and bartender dude. Basically Joe has to get Barry and Iris together because they just like tripping. He's like, "Yo, what the fuck?"
They're doubting their ability to be parents.
Yeah. And then he was just like, "Yo, Barry, like, yo, we've been trying to keep the forces apart. Where we should be, bringing them together." Then all of a sudden, Dion is just there. Like I don't know where the fuck Dion came from. Like it was just like he was
You
just
know,
there. He was just there. It's like
Because earlier, I think he tried to take on Nora or Speed Force, and she whipped his ass when she was telling when he so when Barry brought all of them to her, she was like, "No, this ain't it. You are here to betray me and shit." And or no.
That happened after
Yeah, no, I'm thinking, but there was a part where he was with Dion,
in the
and he
stadium,
just
yeah, and
tried
then
to.
he just left. But then he just shows
Okay,
up here. I don't even remember remember seeing him try to face Speed Force.
I feel like maybe he just went there like off screen,
That's what I'm
like
saying. He
he
just
like
was
he
all of a
dipped
sudden in the
from the
lab. He was just in the lab all of a sudden. That's why I was just like, when
yeah,
did this happen?
he
Um,
he dipped and he was like, "I'm going to the lab. Fuck this."
that's the thing. Like they had a fundamental disagreement. They weren't on good terms, but he was just in the lab now, and it was just okay. Um, so then we got they finally confront the Speed Force with everybody. They all get transported into the Speed Force by her. Um, and then there's just there's an electro tornado cloud. I don't know why there was this
Yeah,
big lightning tornado cloud.
something about Big Bang in reverse.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like all the forces coming together to like just destroy all. It's gonna snap back and destroy everything. So there's only one way to stop it.
Barry's got to run.
If there's something that's spinning, Barry has to run in the opposite direction of it to stop it from spinning.
He's not gonna be fast enough. He will.
He'll be fast enough. Yeah, he'll speed up and he'll make it happen with the power of love, because that's what happens now.
Care Bear ethics.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it is. Because nobody held hands though, so I don't know where he got his powers from. Because nobody held hands and stared at him to
His
give him more
powers come from
power.
his love.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so that happens. Then we get a force fight. The forces fighting each other. Then they
And that
do a
lasted
thing.
like 0.3 seconds. All of
Yeah,
a
and all
sudden,
of a
they're
sudden,
kicked out of the Speed Force.
yeah, and they do a thing where they make her like see a future with herself, like just alone, and I guess that made her all upset and everything,
She was like, "Please don't make this happen."
and she just magically decides to get her shit together by thinking about being alone. I don't know why that
The
was.
power of love fixed her.
I guess, yeah. Then the forces give Barry more power and they help him run. They didn't hold hands though, so I don't know. Like,
The power of love.
but you gotta hold hands.
You don't.
Let's see. So yeah, Barry stops the thing, of course. Apparently the forces are just gonna live in the Speed Force with Speed Force. Cecile wakes up, forgot all about her because that shit was just not just unnecessary. Um, Apparently Cisco got a job offer and they're waiting for a reply from him. They're all sitting around having coffee and
And he still hasn't told them that he's leaving.
yeah, yeah, he was too busy smoochy facing with Camilla. So
Gross, but I love it.
yeah, yeah.
And Chuck
Frost,
and Allegra being weird.
yeah, yeah, just looking at each other like, oh, so are you two gonna kiss now? Is that what we're doing? Really? Okay.
And they're just like, no, no,
Um,
no, no.
Frost goes to see Caitlin. Apparently, she's just on probation now.
Because she was helping and she was putting Metas back into jail.
She was helping before she went to jail.
Look, I didn't say it made sense.
Like,
I'm not saying it made sense. Don't shoot the messenger.
like all of a sudden, what's like old girl ain't gonna say shit. She just like okay with it.
No.
The one like I don't know what her name is anymore. I forgot. You know who I'm talking about though, right? The one that was trying to get her put away and take away her powers to begin with.
Oh, Kramer.
Yeah, yeah. Like she had no say here. She didn't know it was happening. Like she just let it happen. I don't know. I don't see why this. Okay.
She wasn't in town, so she doesn't know yet.
I guess. Then
And
she
then she says she
tells
likes someone.
yeah tells Kayla about bartender dude. Then we cut to Barry and Iris in their loft, and they hanging out, chilling. And he was like,
Listen to some slow jams by her.
talking about what'll happen if we do decide to have a baby. And Iris gets up, and she was like, like, where
I'm
you going?
tired of wondering.
Yeah, I'm tired of wondering. She told him, come get this pussy. And Barry like zoom, and they zoom upstairs because we all love to hear that. So let's make it happen. So let's go up there. I'm gonna vibrate up in you for a minute, and we gonna make some babies.
He gonna fuck.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, she gave him that look. We all know that look when we see that look, and we better respond when we get that look.
Yep.
So that was the Flash. Like you said,
They
fucking
will.
weird. Um,
That was probably the weirdest episode of The Flash to date.
Probably.
For me, it was. There's so much going on.
So, Superman and Lois is all we got left. And honestly, Mara, like, I'm glad this show exists. Because it was the only good one this week.
Yeah, it was just like we had a series finale and just two other episodes, and this was the highlight of them all.
Yeah, yeah. And this one kind of seemed a bit all over the place too, but it was like an all over the place that made sense.
Yes.
So, what was the name of the episode before we get into actually what
Man
happened?
of Steel. Roll credits.
Because we find out that Captain Luthor is not Captain Luthor at all. He is John Henry Irons, aka Steel. And I'm like, I like this.
Oh.
I'm so happy about this. Yeah. So we'll get to it. So Clark takes Jordan up to the Fortress of Solitude because remember he was like freaking out. Turns
Having
out
like
his super hearing is kicking in and he doesn't have any control over what he can hear and shit. So it's fucking him all up. So it wasn't a concussion after all. It was just
yay.
he just got hit so hard his super hearing kicked in.
Or is the concussion his powers getting stronger? It's like it's a concussion, but it also enhances his powers.
The concussion caused his super hearing to kick in. Is that what you're trying to
Mm-hmm.
go with there? Okay. I'm not going to argue that because I don't know.
Okay, thank you.
But, you know, who knows? It could be.
You're right.
So let's see. Oh, so he has to learn how to control his hearing. Lana calls Lois.
And she tells her that she'll let her know if she finds some weird shit.
Yeah. Lois does figure out, that this dude is not Marcus Bridgewater. He's somebody else because the real Marcus Bridgewater dead. So there's that. Um, so she knows that Captain Luthor is a fake. Let's see. Clark wants to tell the boys everything that's going on below. It's like, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
You got Morgan Edge,
Yeah, at the office with a creepy redhead chick. I don't remember her name.
Leslie,
Yeah,
Leslie Lar.
she's fucking creepy. Um,
He asked Lana to create this program and start with about 5 people. And she's like, okay.
you know, what do we really do? Was Kyle on that list?
No, he was suggested.
Right. I missed some of that because it was just there was a lot happening.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Cal is not one of them.
Yet.
Yeah. So then we got Clark training with Jordan. Jordan gets frustrated and like, oh, I'm going upstairs. I can't do it. Puts the headphones back on. Lois goes to see Captain Luthor. I'm still gonna call him this until they say his name in the episode.
Okay.
Um,
And she's like, "Be ready to tell me the truth."
yeah, so she's like, "Y'all want to meet in in this public place here? We'll talk. Tell me the truth, or this is all done." Then this man flashes back to his old married life with Lois and their kid. I'm like, "Oh, he has a kid too. Oh, damn, was the kid dead too?" Like that's what I was thinking. But
Yeah.
they
And
hanging
then
out each
find out
other.
that's not the fact.
But yeah, Superman shows up and he's got a bunch of Kryptonians with him, and they just start destroying shit. And I'm just like, well,
Yo,
damn,
if I
Soup.
saw that, I would shit my pants.
I'm sure plenty of people did. Now, I was watching this live and I was taken from the television at this time, so I missed some stuff here. I didn't come back until Lois and Clark were following the folks with the ex kryptonite in the truck. So, in between there, anything of note happened.
Jordan tries to focus again on his own, gets upset. Um, Jonathan checks in with Sarah at school, but she's skeptical, and Jonathan covers for Jordan. Lana meets with some woman about the job program that she's doing, and she tries to discourage her. And the lady's just like, please, just anything. Uh, while Lois is meeting with um, dude with Luthor, she has Clark check out the camper, and Clark finds like this little AI thing that calls that says Captain Luthor,
Okay.
and he's just like, "What the fuck?" And then that's when Lois gets her phone call from Chrissy about the shipment from the mines that Edge is doing, and they take off.
Okay.
And then Luthor finds out that someone was in his truck, and he finds out it was Clark, and he's just like, I ain't worried about Lois's fucking husband. And I was just like, so he does not know that Clark is Superman.
Right.
And then that's up to where you are.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, they're following this the truck that's got the ex kryptonite in it. Captain Luthor shows up. And he about to blow the whole thing away, just kill everybody because fuck it. But
Fuck it.
instead, you know, Superman shows up and he carries the SUV with the guards in it away, so there's no shooting and shit. Um, let's see. Then we cut over to the school. John is struggling with his locker because he only got one hand. Then some girl talks to him. I don't know what this is, but
Tegan.
whatever. But Sarah sees him. She's like, "Yo, she's out of your league, bro."
And I was like, they're becoming friendly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She was clearly flirting with him, and then Sarah shows up like, she's out of your league, brother." And they
No,
start
I'm
having.
talking about Sarah and Jonathan.
Oh, really? I didn't even. It didn't seem like
I
that
don't
to me.
think, yeah, like but I could see down the line where it's like a leaning for a kiss and then being like, yeah, no. But then I could also see Jordan seeing it and losing his shit because that's how
Oh,
he
like he did right
managed.
now.
Yeah, he managed to focus on them and their conversation,
Yeah.
and then he pressed Jonathan about it later.
Well, before that, because he first hears them, and he's trying to figure out this hearing thing. He's able to focus because he starts looking at a picture of Sarah, and he focuses on Sarah, and he's able to hear her voice, and he hears her talking to John, and he's like he don't like it because he don't like the way they talking and shit, and he gets mad and punches through the wall because teenagers are fucking stupid.
Masculinity is the joke.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Let's see. Then we get another Captain Luthor flashback. We see his Superman kill Lois while she's doing a report. Um, Back in the present, he wants to, Lois to meet, will get him a meeting with Superman, and she agrees to it.
In exchange for the case of ex kryptonite.
Yeah, yeah. My question is, why didn't she let this be a public meeting too? Like, she doesn't trust him clearly, but so why does she have never anyway?
Right. I'd have been like, why can't you meet Superman publicly?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, she agrees in exchange for the ex kryptonite. Turns out she didn't even really want the ex kryptonite. She really just wanted the fingerprints. So they get his fingerprints from that case because he was holding it. Um, Apparently, we get another flashback. We see that he built his little super space armor thingy.
It was a cute little montage of him bonding with his daughter.
Yeah, he was. They were rebuilding the armor together. Um, you already talked about this. John comes home. Jordan is there. They argue. Blah blah blah.
He presses him.
Yeah. Um, what were you saying earlier about when I mentioned Kyle was not one of them, and then you like yet?
Oh, um, Edge had suggested to Lana, I guess, that Kyle be put on the list,
Mm-hmm.
and she tried to deflect, being like, "Oh, well, he's the fire captain. Well, we can compensate for that. Oh, well, it'd be hard for us to juggle with the kids. All right. I mean, like your oldest is like a teenager, but all
Yeah,
right."
yeah, but
And
she
he
pushes
hired
the edge. So
the lady in spite of her not putting Kyle on the list.
yeah, yeah. So
So they meet, and John traps Superman with these solar lamps. And while that's going on, he pulls out this hammer, which I thought was a Molineer. And I was like, "What?
no, he's
Why do you
got
have a
the
Molineer?"
no man, John Henry. You don't know? You haven't heard of John Henry, steel driving man? Oh, never mind then. That's where the whole John Henry Irons thing comes from. Is from this old folk tale about a man named John Henry. Um,
Got you. Because that's why I was like, when they said his name, I was like, who the fuck is that?
well, John Henry Irons is a character in the comics. Steel. He's
Mhm.
Hold on, I'll I'll show him to you.
But while that fight's happening, Leslie calls someone and she goes, "Yo, Superman's busy right now. Send that shipment." And it makes it to the facility.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
then while Jordan and Jonathan, after their argument, Jordan collapses because he's hearing shit again and tells Jonathan that he can hear their dad in danger. And all of a sudden, they start driving the truck.
Mm-hmm.
But they drove right into John just in time to stop him from bashing Superman's brains out with his hammer.
But yeah, so the real John Henry, well, the John Henry Irons from their Earth is dead. But this new John Henry Irons is, the one. So he's gonna be Steel because he already has the hammer.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, he knocks the fuck out of Superman. Like he's about to kill him. Like
Like he was just
fucks
like,
him up.
it's over.
Yeah, but they hit him with the truck. They stop him. Um, Superman's about to end him though. Like he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna fuck you up," but Lois like, "Nah, don't do it. Don't
Don't
do
do
it."
that. The boys already ran my truck into him. Like,
Yeah,
it's okay.
yeah. Super like, "All right, fine.
You
You got
lucky
lucky, motherfucker."
bitch.
Yeah, exactly,
You lucky my wife, who's not my wife, is here.
exactly. So they lock him up with the DOD locks him up. Um, Edge hires old girl. We talked about that. He said like, like I saw her with you, and well, she calls Lana like, "Yo, he said he saw me with you," and like, "Yeah, it's perfect," and blah 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 blah. But turns out he only hired her because there's a chance that the ex kryptonite will work on her, and she's just an experiment.
She's expendable.
Yeah. Then we got Clark and Lois. They agree to tell the kids everything. Get them.
Because
Yeah, because everything's all fucked. If you don't talk to them about it, it's gonna get even worse.
It's becoming harder to hold this secret than it is to just tell them.
Yeah. So then we got John and Jordan talking. Jordan apologizes because he's like, "Yo, I was being a dick. My bad." Then they have a family meeting. And this
Where
is
the
when we
boys can ask any question as long as they don't repeat it outside of the house.
right. And this is when we see that he really isn't Captain Luthor, which we know that, but we knew that for sure now. Um, Basically, the suit's AI just thinks he's Captain Luthor because they didn't finish it. Um,
Mm.
he really is John Henry Irons. He's gonna be Steel. Blah blah blah.
I like that the AI is conscious, but I also hate that.
Yeah, but yeah, that was Superman and Lois. Solid episode. We got John Henry Irons in now, so we know Steel is in this show. Looking forward to that. Hopefully they do him better than they did Hank Henshaw with the whole cyborg thing, but we'll see. It'll be cool. So Mar, we forgot to do this last week, and I think we forgot to do it the week before, but I was really drunk, so I don't remember. Who's winning this week?
We did last week
Okay.
because we realized we hadn't done it the week before.
Oh. Well, who's winning this week?
I said Khalil.
Solid answer. Solid answer. I don't know. Because part of me is like, Barry's winning right now.
But she's a Patriots fan, so is I mean a Cowboys fan, so is he really?
Yeah, because he doesn't mind that. It's a problem for me.
He's like, I'd be done before she said before she could spell out cowboy.
Exactly. Because the thing is, she looks at me like that. I might forget she's a Cowboy fan for a second. But, a second is all he needs. So, who's losing?
I said Tobias.
That's another solid choice. Tobias is dead. So, yeah,
Dead
I'm
and
with you on
gone.
that one. Yeah. Whew. Okay.
It's late where we are, guys.
It
Sorry.
is. It is. I'm tired.
I know some of y'all have watched me made some very weird faces in the last hour.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that'll be it for this week's episode of Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow. We need to end this before we fall asleep. Do not forget you can follow us on both Twitter and Instagram at The Creation World. That is at CREATIA World. As always, I'm not going to tell you how to spell world. If you don't know how to spell it, get a fucking dictionary. Um, Facebook.com/Creation World. Also, there's a Facebook group for this particular podcast. Mara, what is that Facebook group?
Facebook.com/group/super flashy arrow of tomorrow.
Also, if you're a wrestling fan, there's a Facebook group for that podcast. That podcast is Smacking It Raw. That would be no, Facebook.com/groups/Smacking It Raw. Check them out as
Smacking
well.
with no G.
There's no G in smacking. You are correct. Um, don't forget to subscribe to the Patreon. Help us out there. Get some new perks, get some fun stuff. Yeah, get the episodes of our companion shows early.
Sooner than later.
Exactly. Also some behind the scenes content. So good stuff. Also just subscribe to the YouTube, please. We just gotta bump us up a little bit. Those of you who watch us on Pornhub, thank you. That's funny as hell. But go over to the YouTube and subscribe to the YouTube.
Please.
I think that's it. I think we're all done. Anything else
Look,
from
I
you?
can make. No, I was like, look, I can make a heart with my mouth, but no, that's it.
Okay.
I'm tired, delirious, and drunk. It
Oh,
gets a.
whatever. I know. I know. We'll catch y'all next week. We're gonna end this now before Mara does more weird stuff with her mouth. Um, we'll see you all next
Can't
week.
get any weirder than this.
I'm sure you can. Until then, we out.
Bye.